All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So look, it's week 17. One more game left. One more game remaining before the season of misery is over. One more game. Okay, we can finally close the book on this season, throw it in the trash, never think about it again, and finally move forward as an organization. What a complete waste of time these last 2 years have been. Complete waste of time, okay? So finally, I cannot wait just to hit the ground running as soon as the offseason starts. There's so much work that needs to be done with this team. You know, so many things to dive into. I cannot wait for it. So with that being said, let's start talking about the coaches. I've been waiting for this week for a long time, very long time. Okay. One can argue since Gase was hired, but we're going to start diving into some coaching replacements. Okay. Guys that, you know, some are popular, some aren't, some I think would be good fits, some I don't. All right. So let's hop right in. Episode 1 of the coaching profile series, Don Martindale, defensive coordinator, Baltimore Ravens. Okay. So you're looking at Coach Martindale as a 57-year-old veteran in this league. Okay, he's been around for a long time, and he has been with Baltimore since 2012. Okay, arriving in 2012 as that linebackers coach all the way up to 2017, and then taking over as defensive coordinator in 2018. Okay, and the Baltimore Ravens defense has not looked back. They are absolutely terrific. They are getting production from every facet of the defense: DBs, linebackers, defensive line. I mean, you think of Baltimore Ravens defensive football, whether it be this year, last year, 5 years ago, whatever the case may be, you probably think of the same things that I do. Okay, crazy amounts of production, veteran leaders on the roster, instant contributions from young players and rookies, and the overall development of their players. So it's funny, I feel like it doesn't matter how old you are, where you're coming from, first round pick, free agent signing, late round guy, trade. Doesn't matter what position you play. If you play for the Baltimore Ravens, your talents will be maximized. You will be put in the best position to have success and to become the best version of yourself. I mean, Martindale really gets along with the players. The guys love playing for him. I feel like it doesn't matter really who shows up in the building. He will contribute from day one. I mean, this is a defense, quite frankly, that blitzes a lot. They take the football away. They play with a sense of aggression. They fly around the football field. They seek and attack the ball. Not many opposing offenses just shred the Ravens defense. They always have a good game plan going in. And man, when you're starting to look at all of these different things like player development, how they play, the sense of aggression that they play with, the ability to create these turnovers and put their offense in a good position. I mean, there's so much to like. There's really so much to like. And now you're starting to look at, players buying in. Everybody trusts the process in Baltimore. He knows how to get the job done. There's so much to like with Coach Don Martindale. There's definitely a reason why this guy won a Super Bowl. There's a reason why he had a head coaching interview last offseason with the New York Giants. So let's see if Don Martindale and the New York Jets would be a good match, right? Let's try to connect some dots here and see if they would possibly have a solid future together. So I think the first thing that needs to be brought up or addressed, the thing that jumps off the page, is the Joe Douglas connection. There's been a lot of talk that Joe Douglas wants to implement his culture with the New York Jets. He spent time with Philadelphia when they won the Super Bowl. He was with Chicago for a year. But before those two teams, he was in Baltimore for 14 years as a scout. He knows what winning football looks like. Okay, that's a fact. He was with, so many successful years with the Ravens, with the Eagles. This guy knows a winning culture, a winning attitude that started in Baltimore. Okay, that started in Baltimore. Could Joe Douglas be looking at Don Martindale and saying, you know what, this guy knows my philosophy. He knows what I want to do. He's cut from the same cloth. We're both from the Ravens fraternity. We were there at the same time, back in 2012 to 2014. He knows exactly what I want to accomplish, what I want to do. Players already love, they love playing for Martindale. They respect him, obviously. He's a Super Bowl champion. They both know what winning football looks like. So you have that possible connection there. So now you're starting to take a look at the roster and asking yourself, okay, do these guys fit the system? Do these guys fit the Don Martindale 3-4 style system, blitz heavy? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. This defense is beautifully built for the 3-4. The young defensive line flying around the football field. They've been getting after the quarterback late into the season. They're doing a really, really solid job. Quinnen Williams coming back from injury. Fudikasi's really coming into his own. A lot of guys. Basham's playing well. Outside linebacker. Yes, there's holes. Yes, there's definitely work that needs to be done, but overall, man, this roster fits the Don Martindale system, at least on defense, to a T. And I also want to quickly throw this in there as well. Some of Martindale's staff targets have been released, okay? Big names, big names, guys that include Marvin Lewis, currently at Arizona State, doing a great job over there with Herm Edwards, ex-Bengal head coach. Lovie Smith just got fired from Illinois. Two hard-nosed, veteran, defensive-minded guys that demand a lot of respect. And then on the offensive side of the ball, the name that was mentioned was Tony Elliott, offensive coordinator of Clemson. He's one of the hottest names in college football. I have a couple buddies that are Virginia Tech fans, and they're like, dude, Tony Elliott, he's got to be the next head coach. He's got to be the next guy, who has a ton of buzz in the collegiate ranks. Okay, so that's a really positive staff. And of course, nothing is set in stone here. It's not a guarantee that he would be able to bring all these guys onto the staff, but as an early indication of what Martindale's looking for as far as coaching personnel, those guys are absolutely incredible. Makes me think that Martindale knows what he's doing as far as putting together a competent coaching staff. So with all of these videos, I do want to include a couple red flags. And with Martindale, there's definitely a couple red flags, things that are concerning to me, or things that I have questions about. Number one, can Don Martindale develop a quarterback? Whether we draft a Zach Wilson, a Justin Fields, a Trey Lance, or we keep a Sam Darnold, every one of those guys need to be developed. Sam Darnold can't continue to look like this if the Jets want to have any sort of chance to make the playoffs or compete. And, if you draft a guy in Wilson at 2, Justin Fields at 2, they want to trade down and get a guy, whatever, Trey Lance. You cannot invest a top 10 pick in a quarterback and have zero plans of development. Okay, we cannot have another Sam Darnold situation where the quarterback regresses. How much hands-on experience does Don Martindale have with the quarterback? So that's definitely a question mark. That's definitely a concern moving forward. If he can't do it, we need to get somebody in the building that knows how to do that, okay? Just think back. Rex Ryan couldn't do it. How many offensive coordinators did we have under Rex Ryan? I felt like we had a ton of them. Same thing with Todd Bowles. He couldn't do it. Jeremy Bates couldn't do it. John Morton couldn't do it. Adam Gase now can't do it. Neither can Dowell Loggins. It's like, who can develop a quarterback these days? So it doesn't matter if we're drafting a quarterback in the first round or we're sticking with Sam Darnold. What matters is that we get a guy in the building who can develop the quarterback position at a nice rate. So red flag number 2 with Don Martindale, and to be honest with you, it's not even a red flag. This is a possible concern down the road that I have with Don Martindale, and this is 1,000% personal with me. I can't really speak for everybody here. This isn't a 1,000% fact. Again, a personal opinion. I want the Jets to switch to a 4-3 base defense. I think you take a look at the defenses under Rex Ryan, under Todd Bowles, under Adam Gase and Greg Williams. They've all been 3-4. They've all done pretty well, right? The Jets have always rolled out a pretty solid defense, but there's one flaw. There's one major flaw with this defense that we haven't had in forever. Pass rush. We cannot get after the quarterback, okay? So if Martindale does want to really bring the same system that he's running over at Baltimore to this New York Jets team, I really don't want to be in a situation where the Jets' best pass rusher has like 7 sacks or 6.5 sacks or some lame number like that. The Jets have got to get more consistent at getting after the opposing passer. You're looking at the AFC. There's so many good quarterbacks, with Josh Allen being in our division. Tua was a top 5 pick. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, all right? Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow's coming back. Tannehill's playing great. Okay, Trevor Lawrence is going to Jacksonville. Like, there's so many. You're assuming New England might, move on from Cam Newton and Jarrett Stidham. There's so many good quarterbacks in the AFC. It's like, we can't let these quarterbacks just have all day to throw, just pick us apart, and just our only ability to get sacks is by random blitzes here and there, and guys might pop off for a game. We got to get more consistent. I think switching to a 4-3 defense will definitely, it might not be an immediate upgrade like at day one. So at the end of each coaching vid, I definitely want to do a quick thumbs up or thumbs down, if I like it or if I don't, or if I would be okay with it. And I got to be honest, I would definitely give this one a thumbs up. I've always been a Martindale fan. I've always been a big, fan of the Baltimore Ravens, how they run their team from an organizational standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, from a player development standpoint, even like just the attitude that team plays with, the adjustments that they make. It's truly incredible. This is definitely not a team that just throws big contracts contracts out there like the Rams, and they just have Jalen Ramsey's all over the field and Aaron Donald's all over the field. Like, no, this is a team that drafts talent, they develop them, they have a plan, they stick to it, and they adjust when need be. Okay, so big fan of Baltimore. Joe Douglas, obviously coming from Baltimore, knows what winning football looks like. I'm definitely giving this move a thumbs up if the Jets happen to go this route. But again, if Martindale is the guy, the two red flags that have to be answered, or really the bigger concern, if Martindale is the guy, if he's announced as the head coach of this football team, they need to be 1,000% sure that they can develop a quarterback, whether it's Wilson, whether it's Fields, Lance, Darnold, whoever it may be. You need to develop the quarterback in this day and age. Okay, so I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.